Assalamualaikum dan selamat datang kembali kepada KYL Podcast. Ini bukan sekadar sembang kosong, ini juga adalah perjalanan minda hayalan.
Dan kadang-kadang kita bertopeng, kadang-kadang tidak. Nama saya Aiman Haikal.
Yes.
This episode is brought to you by DKSK Diaries and we go by the name of Danish Carl.
You'll know what it is. Two creative oceans, one vision.
Vision.
My name is Ahmad Syafiq.
Jadi pasang headphone kalian, menikmati perjalanan minda dan hayalan. Stack by stack, S to the K, Sufika baby.
Nama saya Aiman Nabil. Lupa nak intro tadi.
Ya betul.
I mean they should know already, right?
know the drill.
Who doesn't know Aiman Nabil, man?
Kau famous bro.
Mascot bagai
You know
kan.
the drill.
Okay, so hari ini apakah acara hari ini?
Apa dia?
Hari ni kita akan sembang tentang Malam Seram punya live show. Review individually, masing-masing review macam mana di situ.
Long awaited.
Long awaited.
Out of disconnected.
Tapi untuk pendengar-pendengar kita yang kalau korang tak tahu tu, kita alhamdulillah kita dapat dijemput kepada Malam Seram Theatre and Live Show.
Yeah.
DJ KC. Dari DJ KC dengan H-Res and so on lah kan.
Shout out to the both of them.
Shout out lah, shout out. Big up.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, we want to share little input sikit lah kan about kita punya experience on the show.
So what's your thoughts about it?
Okay, untuk aku, I really enjoyed it. Itu je. Itu je. But okay, aku suka how they have like mascots or cosplayers yang diri dekat tengah dengan on the right and left side. I really love that. And the starting tu bila dorang adakan kerasukan as a start, I think that's super strong, bro.
Yeah. Betul.
And Bento really killed it with the kerasukan. Dia punya energy tu bila dia punya gurau suara dia tu.
Macam Razi lah.
Dia punya macam mana kita keluar kan?
Macam mana?
Boleh lagi?
Okay. Tapi for those yang tengah tengok sekarang, nanti kita akan adakan skit Mungkin kita boleh buat skit at the end of this part 1.
Kita tengok.
Where kita buat audio kerasukan.
Itu teaser tu.
Sikit lebih kurang macam gitulah geng.
Tapi honestly I think it was kalau nak kasih rating it will be a 8 out of 10 lah. 8 out of 10. Yeah, and shout out to siapa yang penyanyi tu, the main singer,
Mimi Fly.
He was carrying the whole show. And aku suka how also yang bila Casey had this like pre-recorded punya skits of him being a bomo. I think that was
Betul.
that was A+ lah.
Suits him well lah.
Suits him well. Cuma aku expected him to come in the middle and have quite a little bit more of himself.
Presence, right?
It was only sampai at the end saja bila dia keluar tu. Ya, tapi kelakar semua ketawa kan.
Tak expect kan.
Tak expect.
Sebab aku rasa one thing is yang kita memang semua tengah fikir lah, how is Casey ni going to fit into this theatrics.
It's like
But I guess it is how it is lah. I was expecting macam dia ceritakan, dia kira dia duduk situ kat
Tapi dia berbual dengan mic dia.
buat story,
set
baca
up dia.
story and then pause and then
Diorang buat rekaan dia lah.
you know.
Ya lah, macam dia jadi bomo and then kat depan tengah kerasuk, habis dia tengah control jin toncit semua kan.
Toncit semua lah.
Tapi instead dia pakai macam screen, like
screen lah.
pre-recorded lah.
Like he was macam as an audience we expect him to be like the main actor. Tapi he was just like the least,
The narrator.
compared to all.
I feel like Mimi Fly was the main artist, right? Main star. Macam show dia.
And bila the first lagu tu nyanyi lagu Pontianak Pulangkan tu,
that was so creepy.
it was live, bro.
You get the feels
It was live, man. Dia punya band,
Aesthetics pun
Estetik dia
solid.
Wow, solid.
very nice.
I really loved it. For me, it will be gonna be a 8 over 10 lah.
8 out of 10.
8 over 10.
Ahmad,
Faham.
Kita lanjutkan kepada Ahmad Syah.
Pretty much korang dah cover most of it lah.
Coverkan balik.
Coverkan balik lah. Untuk aku give it same lah, 8 out of 10 juga.
8 out of 10.
Ni first time aku pergi for any live show lah per se. And then it's like, you know, knowing Casey, he does horror, and like hearing he doing like musical theatre horror is like intriguing, and you wouldn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And I mean, I had doubts lah. Macam boleh ke gini? Like horror and musical. But shout out to them, they made it work lah. Really enjoyed the whole show. And props to the actors, actress, you know, everyone.
Nabila Huda
Ya, Nabila Huda was
Kau memang dah perasan lah yang cosplay sebelah kau tu?
Oh memang perasan je. Tapi
memang
aku buat
first
bodoh.
Kenapa?
Lagi saya orang jalan-jalan tepi tengah semua.
Yang mengorak kau tu.
Kat belakang-belakang orang terpekik-pekik semua. It's like kind of distracting lah, but what to do kan?
I mean that's the concept lah kan.
That is the concept.
Yes.
Tapi like you said lah, would enjoy or like would expect more of Casey being on the
presence.
stage
Right.
itself lah, like being present there lah. But overall, it is an amazing show. Like the feels, the songs and everything, you can really enjoy it lah.
Ya.
Tu lah.
Ada rasa seram tak untuk kau?
Not say seram-seram lah, but you know, you get chills, like you creeped out gitu. If you guys know what I mean lah. Kan?
Yeah. I mean based on the base.
Based on the story itself, it's not like scary what lah, macam terkejut ke apa. It's more of you, dia kena rasuk, and the way they portray it, bringing out all the emotions into it, the song, the costumes and all, it adds to it lah, and you can really feel it lah.
Betul.
Itulah.
Tapi during the press conference dia mention ada macam bau-bau
Ada
tak
Korang ada bau?
Tapi tak ada.
Tak ada.
Aku rasa
Mungkin depan tak? Daripada
pasal diorang pun dah cakap that they need a license for that. Yeah, so aku assume maybe diorang tak dapat lah
kebelakan.
But would have been a good detail lah yang kau
That's why
Bau.
aku pun ada rasa terbau-bau, tapi aku rasa bau kentut lah.
Kena sebelah apa tu?
Yeah, okay lah.
Moving on to Ahmad Hakim.
Okay, moving on to me pula kan. I mean, we all to a certain extent kita share a similar punya thought about the whole theatric experience juga kan. And aku would agree that would love to see more Casey kat dalam pasal I think by default kalau orang book this show, kita expect to see macam like the main guy being the storyteller. But aku rasa pun because prior to that Casey pun dah ada banyak live shows. So I guess I think before main live shows he was doing storytelling, tapi I guess now he wanted to do something different.
Like huge lah basically.
Like, correct kan. And then dia pun he hired all these big stars, all these amazing stars to perform the show. And I guess that replace it lah. Kira macam okay, even though kita tak dapat tengok Casey sangat, tapi dengan actors, actress yang hebat ni semua macam Beto Kushairi, Nabila Huda, you know, kita dapat that feeling lah, no? Kita tengok dia macam mana diorang sampaikan perasaan dorang, emotions dorang. I mean they really brought out their character tau. Kita boleh tengok macam Nabila Huda really kira
like
on form
all out
dengan Beto kira dah sampai kat lantai merangkak. Wah, untuk aku that was macam the highlight lah bila dia dah tengah really kena laku show lah.
Untuk aku bila part Mimi Fly dengan Nabila Huda dia joget.
That's so good.
That's so good, bro. Aku ada good performance.
I think it's nice how macam like even though Mimi Fly was the main singer, tapi dorang macam portray dia as like some kind of like jin dalam macam putri jin mana dah yang dia macam lurking, and she's like overseeing everything. Dia macam I think ada satu part yang Nabila Huda tengah berbual dengan Beto, tiba-tiba dia macam rasa cheers, but actually just Mimi tengah main-main
macam bayangan kan.
So I think it's nice lah. I mean rating wise pun I think it's quite high up there juga. Aku pun contented jugalah. Lagi prior to it pun kita dapat, we were invited for the press, so expectations were met, and we were glad lah. Having scare actors all around also build the vibe. So aku dengar macam on the far right, pasal kita on the left kan, so apparently on the far right ada macam apa tu orang panggil, penanggal. I think there was a penanggal punya scare actor lah.
Biar satu pakai baju merah tu.
Kita tak experience tu.
Tu Zaf nampak penanggal. So kita punya side is just the perempuan baju merah lah. Yang all the way kat kat Ahmad. Terlepas pula aku. Yang all the way literally she was just lurking behind you
Tahu perasaan. I can feel the presence lah.
Dia macam like kat belakang kau tengah gini je. Habis aku macam like dekat belakang kau.
Tahu.
Ya, tapi itulah saja untuk aku lah. Abang Nabil pula macam mana?
What are your thoughts about it,
Untuk
bro?
aku rasa sama sikit lebih kurang macam Ahmad Syafiq
Why,
Aku
okay.
tak pernah pergi macam benda-benda konsert ni semua.
You never go.
Really? Rumah baik je. Duduk rumah belajar. Pergi library. So, ini first time juga experience untuk aku.
Pergi library.
Memang.
Pergi library main game.
So aku memang ada expectations here and
High.
there. Okay, so but knowing KC, I know that he is able to surpass some kind of expectations that is kita semua as an audience ni kita are looking forward to.
Yeah.
Which I feel that okay, kita masuk kita fikir this and that, this and that, but then he
Dekat sikit.
into something that is different. Ya, dia macam tunjuk kita benda lain daripada benda yang kita expectation.
Jauh sangat.
Aku dah belakang tengah ni.
Dia dah tengah form.
You can put your hand in the front lah.
Yeah, so as I was saying, guys, so the expectation that he threw us is completely different daripada apa yang kita sebagai audience wanted lah. But
betul.
It's also in the end is also very good.
Yes.
I believe in my opinion is good lah because this is what I like as well. Musicality ni semua, you know, it's something, and like what Ahmad Haikal tadi cakap Mimi Fly ni dia, even though she is like the one of the stars that portray dia punya lagu singer ni, but dia is also part of the act itself. Dia sebagai portrayed as an entity yang bukan dalam in the reality of the world itself, tapi sebagai makhluk yang di belakang dia.
Like macam dia tengah tengok je tau what's going on.
Yeah.
So I like it that she's playing macam a role of a spiritual
There's a secondary
entity
role lah.
Yeah. And secondly, I like how the actors manage to portray diorang punya emotions and everything lah. So, okay, because kalau korang tengok TV, korang tak dapat rasa dia punya emotions fully tau. Betul. Tak digambarkan. Korang boleh gambarkan aja, tapi korang tak dapat rasa dengan sepenuh efeknya.
Energy lah kan.
Correct, Ahmad Haikal.
The speaker sound so plays a part.
Iman Danish.
Yes.
So bila yang part tu yang Beto tu. Beto dia macam dia jadi dia punya kerasukan dia.
Oh yes.
Dapat rasa
Jadi
dia
tu.
punya growling and dia punya aura lah. Aku cakap dengan korang korang pendengar dengar. Dia punya aura dia, ya Allah, ya ampun.
Yeah.
Sangat mengerikan.
Mengerikan.
Dan sangat wow lah.
Bila kita tengok tu, it feels like dia betul-betul nak jadi. I feel like macam you need help. No, I feel so
Yeah, correct.
macam I feel so concerned when I see Bento like that.
Sana aku macam
Bento.
My Allah.
Gento SB19.
Jangan gecko pula.
Lain. Beto Kushairi lah.
So Beto Kushairi portrayed it so well as someone yang macam ada dia punya bestiality punya instinct.
Very good
Dia
review.
sangat menganjing.
Not wrong.
Aku tengok aku sangat terinspirasi lah.
Terharu lah.
Jadi
Inspired that he is able to deliver this bunch of emotions to people live, and this is only you are able to
Experience
rasa ni, experience this in the live theatre.
Betul.
Yes, correct.
Kalau kau tengok cerita hantu biasa, kau just macam oh, okay lah, seram lah.
Ya,
seram.
betul.
Tak dinafikan.
Pasal television and YouTube. Aku nak cakap
Tapi memang betul.
Apa dia?
No, in television they only play with jump scare.
Yeah.
Tapi on theater macam tak ada jump scare, but they
Yes.
play with like
It's
emotions.
The senses.
Very
Rasa
true.
merambang
No, rasa dia punya goosebumps and all.
Okay, pasal korang tengok ni, korang imagine if we were to watch the whole live show tapi dari YouTube je, kita tak akan rasa
Oh,
tak akan rasa sama tau.
totally different feel lah.
Honestly, okay,
nampak tu.
I'ma be real dengan kita
real
punya
lah.
pendengar KYL.
Be real.
Okay, honestly the best storyline, I don't know if you guys can agree with me, but it's actually very simple.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
But it's how the actors deliver it. Tu yang buat dia memorable.
Yeah. If you get a normal actor tak ada feel because they can like really act well. Pasal diorang actors kan.
Diorang
Actors,
movie
actors.
stars lah. Level movie stars.
So when they deliver rasa macam macam betul jadi.
Yeah.
We feel as an audience kita rasa macam
Dia ni okey ke tak?
dia ni
tu
okey tak?
betul-betul
Macam
kena
nak
Macam
rasuk
kisah
tau.
macam tolong.
Awak.
Macam nak tolong ya.
Yes.
Tapi bila kita nak tolong tu terus Mimi Fly datang dia nyanyi.
Dia relax kan. I feel like every actor and actress there overpower each other.
Tak tidak.
Everyone has their moment of shining.
Correct.
Dia akan
Shiny Pokemon.
correct.
Yes.
Dia akan jadi, and then bila Nabila Huda dia pun jadi.
Oh,
Macam all over merangkak gitu.
Oh sia.
Damn.
Tapi instead of ada sikit yang kelakar juga tau.
Ya.
Ada humor tu tau.
Yang gempal-gempal sikit tu kan.
Cute tau.
Siapa adik tu?
Siapa?
I think it's
local
not definitely not a movie star lah. I think
Dia
it's
local
side.
punya actor.
Local lah.
Local actor.
Macam Malaysian je.
But I love her acting also. I was expecting macam Nabila Huda and Beto to be too overpowering, that the side character akan macam, you know, not really share their power or anything. But wow,
I think it's nice. Kira macam we get to see dorang punya effortless punya training pay off. Pasal everyone contrast each other very well. Betul. Tak ada orang macam lebih kuat. Even though okay macam kita tengok dalam Mimi Fly macam okay dia penyanyi. So kita expect macam if the singer confirm gila babi apa.
That's why I question also like macam when before I enter the live, apa ni? What Mimi Fly would do? Pasal it's like a musical. I tak expect dia boleh jadi muzik tu lah. It's very, and dia pakai baju putih kan.
All the way lah. I think dia the only one yang tak tukar baju sangat. She
The maintain lah.
Mesti bayaran mahal untuk dia.
Aku was kind of, before we came in, aku was kind of speculating what kind of song is going to be, because apa ni is a musicality theatre kan. Tengah fikir juga lagu apa. Bila diorang buka diorang punya
intro dia
punya lagu panggilan ni semua, Ulik Mayang
Ulik Mayang.
I think that's your
I
favourite
love that song. I love that
Mayang
song.
dengan Lengser Wengi. Ni semua lagu penyeru ni semua.
Seram tau boleh panggil tu tau.
I think in the fact that Mimi Fly dapat nail dia pay vocals, dia pay vocal range dia gila babi.
Babs. Tapi Danis pula.
Lupa No, untuk aku starting aku agak disappointed.
Kenapa tu?
Pasal why I don't know, don't nak play time they want to drag time. Gitaris semua cerita hantu.
Okay lah that. Yes, filler part
Kita tak perlu
That part bila ada yang botak tu kan. Dia biar berbual, nampak sangat Casey kat belakang. Panjangkan lagi.
And jangan lupa ada instrumen tu pun apa plug pun tak betul.
Starting the
Technical issue. So for me macam I feel a bit draggy. Ada macam gini tu macam like
laid back lah.
It's a bit too long intro.
The intro was
very long. Then after a while then okay lah. For me my review I will give 7 lah. Korang semua 8
It's high up there.
Because I think when I go this live show I want to see more of Casey.
expectation kau lain
I want to
lah.
see Casey.
That's the missing 2 points lah.
Yalah. So bila Casey datang tu aku macam finally dia keluar.
Finally.
Tapi bila dia jadi Momo for the first time on the show, semua ketawa kan.
Nggak nampak kat screen
Kelakar juga lah ni.
Tak expect. Honestly tak expect.
Because like
Tak ada, dia dah datang dengan dapat pisau dia kat nampak screen ada lagi gini.
habis dia potong limau.
bagai
Terus
wahai manusia.
Macam tak kena. Pasal macam cute-cute kan dia.
Babi sikit lah.
Dia macam play a part lah.
So tapi yang to me the best highlight is bila Mimi Flan dia nyanyi lagu dia cover that original song ke dia kan ada ketupat ketupat dia to me is highlight
Ending itu je highlight kau.
That's for me I like it lah. So untuk aku macam I was expecting more seram. To me I tak rasa seram sangat. I don't feel any macam seram lah.
So ada room for improvement lah.
Bukan nak kecam lah. Cuma I feel like I expect more of Casey and cerita hantu more.
Pendapat lah.
Because when I enter macam really very Malaysia based today. To me.
Tapi what would you want to expect more kalau in the future we were to go
my expectation kan. Casey punya rumah ni set up dia buat kat stage. So dia ceritakan macam itu and kita audience kita tengok.
Kira
macam
macam
dia ceritakan
konsep lebaran raya.
So kita buat podcast kan dia ceritakan tapi kat stage sebelah tengah
audience lah.
Yalah.
On the stage sebelah dia tengah berlaku.
Berlakon lah.
So I was expecting dia macam cerita-cerita terus ada actor Mimi Fly dengan tu semua berakting.
Correct.
So dua dia cerita tu berlakon.
Betul.
Simultaneously lah.
That was aku punya expectation also. Dia ceritakan and then later pause, kira lampu blackout on him. Then one side of the stage lampu keluar habis diorang start to berlakon the scene and everything. That's what aku expect.
And then I also expect Casey tu keluar, then dia tengah control kira jin dia semua, and then ada jin keluar semua. Ada toyo-toyo kecil-kecil datang. Habis kira macam dia datang dengan army dia, semua kecil-kecil kan datang. Habis fight. Tapi jadi kelakar. Tapi confirm funny lah. Untuk aku expect that. Lepas tu macam war. Tapi tumbuk-tumbuk semua macam main-main lah. Macam main-main.
Aku rasa tu untuk KYL ni.
Aku tengah fikir tu lah kan. Mungkin
Kita KYL punya niche
otak aku kelakar je kan.
Kita ceritakan terus ada macam benda berlaku kan. I feel like that's KYL lah.
And kita boleh go with the character from kita punya first episode, Ahmad Bomo, Diana. Then kita ada kita punya own clan. Habis kita buat cerita own clan ni, tapi kita ikut script for the first few minutes, maybe 20-30 minutes. Kita terus freestyle. Kau mengarut je.
Kau semua suka je.
Mengarut, merepek tapi entertainment bro.
Itu baru
Repek meramat.
Harus habis tau.
Tapi tu kalau dah buat gitu kau kena blunt lah.
So
Kau really nak kena muka tebal lah.
Ya.
Kau imagine ada 500,000 orang depan kau, habis kau just nak kena improv. Susah tau.
habis kita expect audience punya sound tau. Kalau kita dah buat kelakar, untuk kita kelakar, habis semua tak ketawa.
Malu sah. Tak lagi teruk. Kita book venue untuk 5,000. Yang datang like 100-200 je. Habis satu corner je.
Tak ada, kita buat style sama lah. Kita ambil 5,000 tapi kita cakap kat depan setengah, sebab tak belakang tu tak dengar apa-apa. Kita kat bawah
Pasal tak dapat free.
tak dapat free.
Jauh sangat.
Tak, kalau tak pun kita book untuk 200. Tapi kita tak cakap 200. Kita cakap sold out. Korang buat live show sold out saya.
Lepas tu tiket yang tak dapat jual, kita kasih podcast masing. Actually aku wanted to add one more thing. Yang the only thing yang disappoint me was the scare actors lah.
I would agree.
Sebagai scare actors I feel like KC should have also macam push the characters be more
Interactive.
engaging and Kalau aku rasa kalau dia hire KYL lah untuk jadi scare actors aku wouldn't hesitate to merangkak on the floor, pegang kaki orang.
Honestly, I
There
would
is a limit lah. Maybe tak boleh pegang, there is the
ada
boundaries.
baru lah.
That's why you put in the policy when you do the booking, like this is all entailed to touching of your legs.
Okay.
At the start orang nak masuk ni, nak beli tiket ni, ada macam signature, e-signature.
Yes.
This is signature yang menyatakan telinga kau akan dipegang.
Telinga kau akan dikoreng.
So aku sign, aku tak tahu.
Sign.
Kalau tak baca sign je.
Betul. Tapi honestly it'd be so much better lah.
Correct.
Kalau the scare actors they are involved with the audience, and then it adds to the feel of the content.
Tapi kalau tu semua kita charge berapa?
Lebih sikit lah. Sebab kenapa lebih sikit?
Kenapa?
Sebab kita nak kena bayar duit part-timer semua. Tapi it's good lah, this kind of thing. You as a scare actor, I would love to do this kind of thing.
Definitely.
Aku tak nak just diri situ tepi, tengok Ahmad gitu ke tepi, jalan sini, jalan belakang sana. Be more engaging.
What they can do macam bila kita dah scan the ticket, habis kita nak masuk the theater, kita terkejutkan kita ke.
That's a good start to the show lah.
Atau at the end. At the end orang nak balik tu just takutkan orang nak balik apa? Macam
Jangan kasih balik.
Jangan balik. Kau tak boleh balik. Kau balik. Kau jangan balik.
Melampau. Tapi ni kita kasih idea.
Idea tapi memang bagus
kita lah.
Because
boleh.
you already get one kind of atmosphere just from watching the theater.
Of course.
So to add another dimension of scare factor, these actors should go beyond and above.
Honestly, they were just looking at us. To be honest, dia just macam gini tengok
macam tak sabar nak balik kan.
Kasihlah macam pegang rambut kita ke apa, macam pegang.
Duduk ke tepi habis just peluk gitu. I would love it of that.
Lagi tempat duduk Ahmad sebelah tak ada orang duduk.
Tak ada orang.
They could have just sat there, right?
Correct.
Dia duduk ke apa, teman aku.
Habis hantu 3 je.
Actually banyak.
I mean that's more lah. Our side is
one outside, one middle, one the other side.
And then yang at the end tu ada yang lari kan, lari ke depan.
Tapi tu part of the show lah.
Itu part of the show.
Itu bukan yang diri lah.
That one yang
no.
He diri tengah juga.
Ada
Dia
sikit.
is at the tengah, but then kadang-kadang dia nak kena pergi depan.
But I think he got more involved compared to the other
Ada
bigger role
lah dia. Should have more ghosts lah.
Aku nak tanya korang ni.
Tanyalah.
Okay, based on dia punya live show untuk korang okay, what are the, let's say kalau kita ada boleh pilih siapa lah, siapa korang nak tengok dalam tu live show instead of Beto atau Nabila?
Podcaster scene ke?
Tak macam like really global
Anyone
lah.
lah,
Yang kau rasa
international.
boleh amplify the show dia.
I feel like instead of Mimi Fly, I call Misha Umar. Then
Maya Karina.
Maya Karin as a Shaw.
Maya Karin as actor.
That's why.
Tapi ni kalau kita tak ada bajet lah. Kita ada bajet lah.
Ada bajet lah.
Ada bajet lah.
Ada bajet
Kita
tak dapat lah semua.
Blank check lah. Kalau blank check
Back check.
panggil tu lah Syamsul lah. Syamsul. Dia ustaz lah.
Tapi terus dah
mahal
jadi
tu.
movie agaknya.
Mahal Syul.
Tu dah kena bayar mahal.
Yalah, lah, pasal kita berbual tak ada ni ber, tak ada limit lah. Bank limit tak ada.
Blank check ber.
Ni government bayar.
Tapi kalau dapat, kalau Syamsul to be in that scene, insyaAllah confirm dah lain.
Yeah.
Dah lain.
Mungkin dah jadi movie dah.
Ya, tu dah scope production kat dia.
So, tapi instead dia akan buat macam live show punya movie lah.
Ya.
Untuk aku kalau aku boleh bawa satu, it would be someone that's totally tak ada vibe horror, tak ada macam in the scene lah. Be random lah. Yeah, probably like I don't know, Suzairi. Kita tak ada idea.
Tak. Kita bawa semua yang guest kita bawa. Kita bawa Kermit Singh.
Boleh.
Kita bawa Razi.
Tapi boleh jadi hantu lah.
Kermit Singh in a horror scene.
I don't think he want it.
Dia sedih
Dia serius.
Ya,
Podcast kita dia cakap tak nak horror.
Ya.
Mana tu nya?
Ya. Ya.
Tak tahu siapa nak pergi next.
Okay lah, okay. I mean pretty much we are pretty much done with this Alam Seram punya review kan. Tapi aku ada satu benda ni aku nak tanya ni.
Tanya
lagi.
Bukan nak tanya, aku nak tahu kalau korang tahu tak. I've been looking at aku punya social media has been filled with it a lot lah. And I've been sending couple of what they call DMs tu ni juga ada tujuan dia juga.
Apa
Kira sekarang like M-pop is a thing
Yeah.
There's like a tournament where they like
Compete lah.
compete in a
become
group tu. Habis diorang nyanyi lagu-lagu K-pop gitu.
So dia is ikut Korea punya program show sebenarnya.
Dia macam winner lah.
So dia macam winner dengan Icon punya program show.
Team A, Team B gitu lah.
Tim TV. So tapi ada pemenang number 1, tapi tetap top 7 tu akan jadi a boy band.
Like everyone.
Everyone.
The top 7.
So dalam group ni yang menang ni, they will have a training dekat Korea. Nama dia Alpha. Ya. 7 orang lah. So it's a mix of orang dekat dari Brunei,
Singapore dia?
Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore. 4 countries.
Wow.
And one of them yang Singaporean tu
Ada jugalah.
nama dia Izzat Ibrahim.
Izzat.
So dulu masa aku kat LaSalle tengah belajar tu, aku ada project dengan dia. So kawan aku lah sebenarnya. So so dia dah debut lah. Saya cakap he's going to go to Korea with the boys and masuk dalam industri, belajar dari Korea punya scene dulu. They will come back as a ni lah.
Wow. Yeah, because I've been seeing it a lot on my FYP.
Yeah, a lot of people like congrats.
Yeah, and I mean prior to that pun I think I send you a couple of performances tau. Ada benda nak betul-betul nyanyi lagu Big Bang, joget-joget semua.
Is it really good to you?
Pasal okay, aku honestly pasal kita tengok rancangan Malaysia kan, kita tak expect K-pop coming from there tau. Yeah, and then to see macam like kira korang nyanyi bahasa Korean macam like, wow, there's a lot of effort
Ya, sebab Malaysia they are trying to use and use out program-program yang daripada Korea. For example, other than this big stage Alpha ni,
But I can see your voice also,
ya,
right?
yang Unmask Singer tu kan pakai
Diorang
pun ada.
Sama ada juga.
So basically yang korang tak tahu, Unmask Singer ni dekat Korea ni they have a program where people will just perform and then kau kena guess siapa orang ni.
Who's the singer lah?
Who's the singer?
Who's the one that can sing?
Ya, macam ada guessing game lah.
Very ambitious.
Singapore pun ada, Suria pun ada buat.
Singapore pun ada.
So everyone's juicing out that content.
Singapore ikut I can see your voice.
Yeah.
I can hear your voice.
Can hear your voice.
I can hear your voice. Diorang ada ikut. There's a couple of programs that's doing the same concept. But I love that show lah.
Tapi honestly, I need to shout out to Izzat Ibrahim. Dia dah lama in the game. Cuma Singapore
Hard to penetrate.
So it's nice to see him finally blow up lah.
Yeah,
he's been working hard lah.
Yeah, respect for him to like tahan until 10 years old.
For those that don't know, korang boleh dengar lagu Izzat Ibrahim. His song is titled, one of his songs is titled What Went Wrong. It's a very good song.
What went wrong?
It's R&B bro. R&B. Dia punya high pitch, dia punya
He can dance also.
Yes, he can dance also. Yeah, he's got the vibe lah.
I mean the program they have to dance, they have to rap,
Yeah,
they have to
right.
sing. I think they ever did fiction performance juga.
Oh, ada.
Ada juga.
Oh.
So I think honestly quite impressive lah. Bila baru-baru nampak macam rasa macam pelik pula. And then dah repetitively nampak dorang macam from performance to performance to performance until the very end. Kira dorang improve a lot lah. Yeah. So
Cuma aku rasa macam the issue in the long run, can they stick as a boy band 7 orang ni sampai 10-20 years? I mean kalau macam KRU boleh lah, terserah lah, it can happen, can stay. Tapi ni kalau korang nak ikut cara K-pop, go to Korea with like dorang punya discipline, crazy dance practices and all day, as ni a little bit touch of religion lah. Kita bukan religious bias semua orang, tapi macam it's just a issue that aku rasa it's gonna be an issue. Like
Mesti.
if they, let's say they debut dekat sana, it's countless trainings every day, every night.
Correct.
I think it's quite interesting. I think maybe the heavier influence for this M-pop to rise, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, I'm only exposed to this particular group, Dola lah.
Yeah, Dola.
They are the only one that is really macam Korean influence. Diorang really follow the punya K-pop punya lifestyle lah, macam cara performance.
Lagu dia pun is like really the K-pop
kan.
part.
I think lagu latest dorang Mua betul it's very K-pop. Yeah, it's not your typical Malaysian punya music tau. It's very K-pop. They have that iconic punya dancers, vocals,
rapper,
visuals orang. And I think they are like, I guess they are the one who brought it to Malaysia, I guess. You can see it.
And diorang pun dengan in context of kita punya topik ni pasal the culture and then macam dapat timing. Diorang dari 4 orang jadi 3 orang sekarang.
Tahu.
So bila that one lady tu bila dia left, dia kahwin, dah pakai bertudung, semua macam in a way macam bash ni group. Bila nak jadi macam yang ni, bila nak macam pakai. So susah bro. Kalau Malaysia je dah susah, aku rasa kat seberang kat sana pun it's gonna be issue.
Betul.
Aku rasa macam sebab kat Korea tu dorang dari from a young age dorang are already in tune dengan ini punya industry culture kat sana. So that's why Koreans are able to thrive. I mean not all lah. I mean there are still struggles sini sana kan, to try to be a proper idol, K-pop idol kat sana. Tapi kalau untuk orang-orang yang luar negeri tu, macam ibaratkan macam Malaysia, I guess more to the southern east of Asia, so a bit susah untuk kita punya orang nak pergi tembrak sana tu, nak you know try to do everything of their culture lah from the start ni semua. You know it's different lah, different.
I mean sorry to cut you. I think the hardest punya obstacle is going to be the language. Language barrier.
And also dia punya kecaman like the critic is going to be very
I mean bila aku tengok Dola kan they got one Muslim dan 2 Chinese, right? Oh, dia pergi kecam gila babi sah. Dia pergi komen gila babi.
Bro,
rabak sah.
Rabak.
I mean I understand the lifestyle that they are trying to chase, but I mean it's something that you honest as the artist, I think she probably foresee this already. Obviously, it's one of the things
he knows lah
that might happen lah.
Pasal benda ni bukan hanya dia kena carry bakul yang berat ni tau. Family dia semua kena terima. Orang akan cakap, anak kau, kau punya anak saudara, kau punya. So it's the whole family is carrying this shit tau. Bukan dia seorang. Tu yang kita kena fikir, mak bapak kita, daripada kita, saudara mara kita macam mana ni. Orang akan attack in a way lah, aku rasa lah. Typical lah kan.
Yalah. And macam you know, are you ready to face the backlash kalau benda tak jadi or something like that, you know? Kalau kau go there as a rising star and then you somehow flop benda macam gini confirm kau kena teruk. Kau dah kena dengan Korea punya side, Korea punya fanbase, lepas tu kau kena dengan kau punya home fanbase semua. It's gonna be double the pressure, I would believe.
Macam yang orang kafir dekat Korea ni bukan kecam orang, tapi when they are at the losing end, dorang just tarik nyawa je.
A lot of case lah.
Banyak pam.
I mean because the netizen base there is so much bigger compared to our homeland kan. So there's more for them also to take in kan. And even I mean this kind of case rising artists face, even veteran artists pun dah face this also. And ada pun they just left already. So it's going to be different. It's going to be hard lah to see like kita punya like local artists push towards this direction.
But then again macam I understand where he coming from so pasal that's their dream also.
Correct lah.
Which I totally respect.
Of course.
Like, oh my god,
long run susah.
My opportunities right.
But even for me pun sebenarnya I will still take it.
Kan
Yeah.
macam like
For me
I
pun
will
aku.
want to try right.
Yeah.
If
Then
I fail
again,
at least I try.
how long kau boleh tahan lah.
Yeah.
How sustainable lah.
Kau boleh tahan lah all this backlash, all this negativity and all. Because I mean, going into the scene, you would expect it lah.
Yeah.
And if you don't prep yourself with that mentality, obviously you cannot make it lah. But then again, it's like starting maybe kau boleh, but long run, it gets worse and worse. You never know lah.
Correct.
That's why aku rasa it's smart for companies dekat Korea ni to have contract base.
6 years, 5 years.
5 years, then diorang akan fikir like, should we continue lagi 5 years ke tak?
Yeah.
And honestly for me, aku would take that 5 years lah.
Yeah.
And then after that, with that fame, kau boleh buat banyak benda lah. Business and all that. So I would
Okay,
take.
since kau cakap kau would take up this offer kalau if it's ever raised to you kan. Okay, for people with partners how do you think it
Macam
would
mana?
affect?
Yeah,
Because okay, if you,
sah.
I mean, okay, let's put Dola into context. Because one of their members left to marry someone, you know, and that's it. The career is done lah. Yeah. So how do you think your partner will be will affect this? No? Macam will kau be able to sustain the relationship because it's going to be like long distance.
Yeah, so
And I mean, okay lah, maybe dia boleh ikut kau. But what if they cannot? Kau nak kena maintain that Singapore-Korea relationship.
Okay, for me,
how's that?
okay, for me, my answer would be just now, yes, if I'm single. Like right now, if I'm like right now attached, tak boleh lah.
Yeah.
Terus terang
Because
aku
you
tak
have to
boleh.
choose your partner then. Yeah, but then hard to choose.
Dream
Career, career
Yeah.
or your partner.
Tapi aku rasa there is a way to navigate through that.
Why? How
Yeah,
is that
so
Macam mana tu?
I guess it's sort of like in a way macam kalau kau betul-betul dah really want to go forward with this thing to something that you cannot go back,
Chase
and
it.
if you want to bring along your family atau your partner along, I guess the only way that they can be involved with you is by being involved in the industry with you lah. Can be through as your agent ke apa, your apa thing, your marketing team ke apa.
So she have to quit the job, is it?
She has to be fully involved with your partner. So I know it's very selfish lah.
Yeah.
But if she truly believes ni benda boleh akan
potensi
ada
kan.
potential jauh, then I feel that either ways lah, he or she yang pergi, then the partner have to try
Sacrifice.
to give in lah, and then you be with your partner as agent, the contract manager ke apa or something like that lah. And I think that's the only way kalau untuk sustain if you still want to sustain a relationship while going into this industry.
Yeah, like see how she can help in certain ways with you lah kan.
You got me.
Yeah,
You got me.
But I mean, as a Singaporean also, it's a bit hard
Memang.
do that because we all need to work, right?
Correct.
Yeah, then like to sacrifice that, unless we can, let's say we can chase the dream, I can chase the dream, then I can like have some money to pay her also, then that's fine lah.
So now it boils down to one thing that I have in mind. How much are you willing to sacrifice to chase your dreams?
Wow, you ask me at this phase cerita lain bro.
Tahu
Right
kan?
now,
Yeah, that's
right
why.
now, the love of my life is everything. I would throw everything for her. Lain sikit lah.
Like, if you ask me, I would chase my dream lah. Kan? Right? Because I have no commitments. So if they ask me to go like macam let's say put game, they ask me to be a relevant player or something. I will go for relevant player lah. Tapi it takes like I won't go home lah. I will be always at Korea ke. I will always at yeah.
So
different country.
you'll be
I will chase
willing to jeopardize your relationship to chase your dreams lah.
But right now he knows.
No,
No, macam
let's say if I have
no. Relationship just general could be family members, friends, KYL.
Oh,
Generally like
yeah.
that.
KYL is a strong one. Yeah.
So macam mana tu? So, I mean, you see,
Yeah.
it goes down to the question. I mean, of course, kalau kau ada partner, the priority is different. Of course, memang kita lebih we put our partners there first. Okay?
Yeah.
But for like that singles out there, I mean, korang pun ada different relationship dengan others. You know, you have your work, your family,
Betul.
your current team.
Yeah.
So, how much are you willing to sacrifice your current relationship to chase your dream?
It may sound selfish lah kan.
I mean,
Okay,
yeah.
aku tweak a bit lah. So bila kau dah chase your dream ni, let's take it you chase your dream 100% success rate. Even if you have a partner as well. You
Partner
will
ni dah
100%
kahwin ke belum kahwin?
No, you with your partner dah, I don't know your committed relationship dah nak kahwin ke dah kahwin.
Okay.
But you know your dream akan 100% success rate punya.
Okay, for me, aku percaya dalam rezeki bila kau kahwin and jaga anak dara orang, rezeki tu datang dalam segi lain. So, my dreams and at the same time, orang pun kata ada anak rezeki, kahwin pun.
Betul.
rezeki tambah. So if you ask me previously, the previous me, it will be different. But right now, Alhamdulillah, I'm a creative. So there's so many creative ways to still put yourself out there and be a star. So I would also still cater to my
Find different
partner
ways
lah.
lah.
Yeah, different ways.
have to.
Yeah, in like a different way, but still do my thing. Nowadays, social media, there's so many ways to still be out there, but not be out there.
Faham.
Virtually and digitally. So yeah, I don't know if aku tahu kalau aku answer question tu lah.
Boleh.
Tapi Ahmad pula, what is your pendapat for this?
Fikir juga but honestly jangan cakap 100% rate kau succeed lah. Even if aku ada chance of like getting my dream, I will go for it lah. I mean obviously I have to talk to family aku, keluarga aku, korang, you know. And I know 100% asalkan bukan benda bodoh lah kan.
Betul. Safe lah, safe.
Asalkan bukan benda bodoh. I know all my relationship or whoever is around me will definitely support me. So it is a big risk. Yes. I mean in your case kau cakap 100% success rate, but let's say it's not. But there is that risk as well lah.
Yes.
But I would still go for it lah. If there is even the slightest chance of getting my dream, I will take that chance to make it happen lah. Jadi tak jadi, that one is up to me.
Asalkan
cubalah. Kau tak cuba, kau tak tahu, nanti kau regret jugalah. So itu untuk aku lah. Kalau ada partner pun, it's a communication thing lah. You still have to talk to. Diam.
No. I was thinking of another scene.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Kira macam kau dah ada
I love
partner,
this debate.
Kau dah ada partner.
Okay.
Nak kena pursue your dreams is to relocate somewhere else. Kau dah ada partner tapi partner kau pun ada dream. Nak kena relocate another place, kau pun another dream need to relocate another.
So dah macam long
siapa
distance
yang akan siapa yang akan give in? Will you guys give in? Follow the other partner or you know?
This is a good one.
For me, I would give it lah.
You give just same. I will give it.
For me, aku tak kisah. Kalau partner aku ada dream dia, I will 100% support lah.
I will go with her so.
Yeah.
Same lah.
Kira tak ada I mean okay lah, let's be real lah. Okay, I mean we are all empaths, you know. We try to understand our partners as much as possible, and we always kita always believe lah, no matter what it is, you know, we always believe. And kalau partner kita ada goal, definitely kita akan push je lah.
Okay.
So kita punya dreams kan masuk bawah longkang, tak ada apa lagi Nabi.
So sekarang aku tweak lagi sikit. Tweak lagi. So okay, korang dua ada dreams kan?
Ya.
Okay. Para pendengar, korang kalau ada sana boleh jawabkan lah.
Kita fikir jugalah.
Tapi the main plot twist is kau punya dream, you know, will fly even more. Kira dia punya potential is more for you guys to be successful compared to your partner punya dream. So how do you gamble this? You know, like, you know your one will sure fly one when you go out there. But sebagai kau ni, sebagai yourself, kau macam tak boleh guarantee your partner one, you know, boleh tak boleh. And also kalau fly pun is not as much as how your dreams will succeed lah.
I understand.
Untuk aku, no matter what lah, whether dia boleh succeed as much as yours ke, I will just push for my partner to go through to chase her dreams.
Partner meaning apa? Dah nak kahwin ke dah kahwin?
Dah nak kahwin pun boleh, dah kahwin pun boleh.
Okay, kalau dah kahwin, we both still have to be together what? And both have to go to their own dreams lah. So we separate for a while, then we come back again lah.
You can be separate.
Tapi
I
sebagai
feel
tanggungjawab,
kalau belum kahwin, then you do that.
Yeah.
That one
It's fine.
Yeah, but that one we have to communicate with our wife lah. Wife kena agree. Kalau tak agree, then I follow her. But to me, I would like, we both chase our dream, but we just still in contact. We still husband and wife, but we chase our dream. Then once we're done, we come see each other. Cannot be 1 year we don't see each other, what? Right?
tapi sebagai
It's not easy as what you see.
tanggungjawab kau sebagai suami, you need to be there for her.
Okay,
you know,
okay.
it's a bit tough kalau nak separate lah, pasti lah.
Yeah.
Undang-undang
I will
Islam
see, I will communicate and I see your dream can sustain how long. My dream can sustain how long. If her one 5 years, my one 10 years, go mine now. I will go my
Habis kalau ada anak pula tak?
Okay lah. I mean kalau
Anak
kalau
lain,
letak
so-
kalau dah ada anak in the picture, I think the dream. I mean honestly, if there is a kid in the picture, your dream will have to put a hold on first. I mean you have to put everything to that child of yours mah. The future, masa depan dia. I think that should be the main focus lah.
But if kita tak kahwin and kita girlfriend boyfriend, so to say aku putus lah. My reason is our path is not online.
Betul.
We were online and we break up. Kita tak compatible and you go your own dreams, I go my own dreams. So kalau kita girlfriend boyfriend, walaupun tengah 5 years, alright juga
Tapi macam maybe macam alaskan sikit cakap kalau memang jodoh lah kan.
maybe in the future.
Kita akan ditemukan
Yes.
di masa hadapan.
Yeah.
Tengoklah macam mana.
Because it's a bit, to me, I don't know. Because my kind of dream is, let's say if I get to go to, I don't know, let's say go Korea, be a star or something. Wow, I would want that. You know? Then like if I say like, no, because of a girl. Hard for me to say because I'm not in a relationship. Right?
Yeah,
It's
susah
really hard
macam
for me to say.
bila you ada is different mentality.
Because right now I feel like, let's say macam siapa, G-Dragon panggil aku nak sign aku.
Have to go lah.
Cannot.
to lah.
I
G-Dragon
take
panggil
care of my
have
wife.
to go lah.
That's why I have to go. No,
I mean, if J-Dragon call me, I bring my wife. I say, J-Dragon, you sign me, must sign my wife.
Yeah.
My
in
wife
one
might
lah.
follow along.
Sign me
Package loh.
Tapi
package.
Tapi the wife pula have different dream. Let's say she gonna open business kat Egypt ke apa.
Yalah.
Tapi dia
Nak
dengan
jual kunafa.
G-Dragon je, dia confirm go juga.
Tapi dia tak jual kunafa.
Jual kunafa kat Korea.
Halal.
Yang mungkin that is the way to ni lah.
Yalah.
Tapi untuk aku pula, one of the living example right now we can look up to is Alif, bro. He's still making music. He's putting himself. He's an artist himself and still creating so many hits, while his wife is totally out of his bukan sama industry.
Cikgu.
Dia adalah musician.
Yeah. Then Alif always patut
and
balik
he has
Malaysia tau.
and he has three kids. Still boleh. Cuma I feel that you can still chase your dream. It's just whether kau dapat sekarang atau later. Bila kau dah kahwin, dah dah ada anak, tunggu anak dah besar sikit lah. Still can chase apa. Anak dah secondary school ke dah.
Yeah, betul.
Yeah. Tengok ada punya passion.
Yeah.
I mean,
be strong there lah.
if your passion is strong, no matter how old, it's never too late
Yeah.
to
And
change.
passion ni dia connects, it revolves around your core, your heart.
Pendirian lah.
Yeah. Macam mana the tables turn pun ke masuk sini ke masuk situ.
mana?
Passion still there. Sini sana tak ada. Tapi kalau passion masih ada, kau belit-belit pun tetap kau boleh still be something, bro.
Yes.
Dalam different things je.
Betul.
Yeah.
Tak kisah passion ke hobi sendiri pun boleh juga. No matter the age.
Yeah.
Kadang-kadang Tuhan ni dia nak lambatkan kita punya sukses punya kan, kita punya pengakhiran hujung kita punya sukses sebab dia nak kita memperbaiki diri kita dulu sebelum kita actually reach to the end game.
Yeah.
Because dia tahu kalau dia letak end game dia siang untuk kau tak akan have that that pendirian untuk merasakan sepenuh hayat. Apa buat sial.
Boleh sampai.
Kau faham lah. Kau faham lah.
Ni Sunday tau.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mampus. Yalah, but
Interesting talk, man. I love this table talk.
I like this
I love this
debate
table.
tak, tapi another best setting to talk was that time kat the Hougang Park tu.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tu different feel tau.
Cuma panas lah.
Panas lah. Lepas tu hujan.
Aku diri satu berbual.
Ya dah tu. Tapi tu dapat tu kan. Wah, tu shock juga. Dan kali kau datang ke
Buat aircon lah.
Ya.
Cuma lepas tu hujan rabak sikit. Tapi untuk penonton KYL korang mesti tengah wondering kira lain setup kira kau ada perasan kira ada left and right angle habis dari sini.
Ya, ada lampu
style tak?
Style lah.
Kalau korang cakap, kalau korang rasa style, korang kena komen lah kat kita comment section bila video ni bila lah keluar
Kalau korang tengok aku di TikTok live, korang tahu lah.
Betul.
belakang ni pula
Betul. Kalau nak pun boleh buat sumbangan. Kita boleh sustain ni studio.
Ni studio 1 minggu tak ada.
Kalau korang rasa yang korang suka setting ini, korang just let us know kat comment section down below.
Betul.
Kalau korang nak kita go back to the home cozy studio, korang pun boleh let us know kat comment section down below.
Betul. Kalau nak kita kat luar, tepi apa ni,
Pantai.
tepi pantai ke, tepi longkang ke apa ke, bilanglah je.
Tapi next time kita buat kat sini, kita pakai cosplay lah.
betul.
Next time kita akan cosplay dan kita tengok macam mana
lah situasi
lah, macam mana situasi. Kalau kita punya penonton ada suka lah.
Aku rasa satu vibe tempat
Mana?
macam very nice Kalau boleh lah. Tapi aku rasa ni tak akan dapat lah.
Apa?
Kira malam setting, tapi tepi macam swimming pool lah.
Best.
Swimming pool dah dapat?
That's the problem
Kondominium lah. Kondominium
Ini
siapa-siapa
semua
ada
impian dia. That's why pinjam lah.
Boleh.
Pinjam orang dia swimming
So
pool
peminat yang tengah tengok sekarang, kalau kau tinggal dekat kondo ada swimming pool,
Ke banglo.
DM kita, kita akan shoot kat sana. 1 jam 50.
Okay boleh.
Maafkan saya.
Kan? Okay boleh. Tapi vibes lah.
Tapi vibe lah, ada vibe.
50 kira
Dia datang kiddie pool.
Kita dalam jacuzzi tu. Dan record. Tapi basah lah semua recording.
Lepas tu mic jatuh habis.
Tutup. Dah tak ada KOL.
Finish lah.
Dah lah. Balik sekolah.
Tapi tu agaknya fly lah.
Tapi vibes lah.
Bye.
Kira dia punya jacuzzi dia ada lampu macam gini.
Habis macam gini-gini.
Macam fogging lah. Ada macam
Actually that's a good concept for a set. Satu set kita have like
that
that.
would be nice lah.
Yalah, habis kau duduk dalam jacuzzi, takkan pada kau gini.
Tapi kalau jacuzzi, habis baju saya nak kena buka.
Kita pakai baju. Baju lah.
Aurat guys, aurat.
Aku kena pakai baju lah. Pasal dalam sini aku ada tattoo.
Kau boleh tahu apa? Katanya apa? World peace.
Apa je. Tapi pakai baju slow tak payah.
Okay. Habis jangan terkencing pula kat dalam.
Masuk air asal macam kuning ke?
Tak payah bawa tai. Lepas tu tai terkeluar.
Habis lah, kena komplain lah.
Okay lah guys, we have to cool it down now. Okay. Don't skate. Dah repeat sikit.
Okay, so kita pun dah sampai akhir waktu untuk part 1.
Alright.
We have something special for you for part 2. As usual, the OGs, they know lah. They know that they will stay as long as it takes with us, no matter how hard.
Avengers.
Okay, jumpa di part 2 guys.
Jumpa di part 2 guys. Peace.